Hello, everybody, and welcome to Thunder and Lightning. Let's get right to it. We are at 95 subscribers. That video, it's trash. You guys absolutely crushed it getting us to 100 subscribers. Currently, 8:41 on Fridays when I'm recording this. We are at 103 subscribers. If we can get to 105 subscribers by Tuesday, same deadline, we will add a second Dr. Payne's Pointless Product Test for the month of September. So get on it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Thunder and Lightning Gaming, and welcome to Season 2 of Bop or Flop. For those of you who don't know, Bop or Flop is a cartoon theme song review show where I, Thunder of Thunder and Lightning Gaming, have a small discussion with Lightning from Thunder and Lightning Gaming about 5 different theme songs from different cartoons, and just as promised, the questions for Season 2 are different. So I will go over them right now. Question 1 is not actually a question. It's called A Brief History as Googled by Thunder. This is the part of the show where I'm literally going to go on the Wikipedia page of this television show and talk about when it came out, who wrote the theme song, stuff like that. Any little tidbits I find interesting. Question number 1 is it good? Same deal as before. Is it good is usually just a blanket. Yes, it's good. No, it's not good. Question number 2 is it fun? Like I said before, theme songs have to be fun. If they're not fun, what are we doing here? Question number 3 is, does it explain the premise of the show we are about to watch? This one might be the most important. A theme song's got to be good and well put together, but it also has a job to do. And question number 4, and the last question is it creative? Is it creative is where we talk about its musical choices and stylings, and we also compare it to its peers. So, with that being said, please enjoy the episode.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Season 2 of Bop or Flop. I have some saddening news.
Oh no! Well, hang on, I'm Thunder.
I'm Lightning, and tragically our lovely host, whose name was never actually told, has passed.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Why didn't I, the other host of this, hear about this?
Because I'm sick of doing his voice.
Oh,
So, if that was the only reason you watched this podcast, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I highly doubt that was the case for anybody. But it's just Thunder and Lightning now.
Yay!
I am now, as always, your host, Lightning.
And I'm Thunder.
Thunder. My always guest, Thunder, is going to give us his thoughts on some of these.
And you.
And me. I'm going to give my tidbits. You're going to give the in-depth thoughts. I'm going to give my tidbits.
This month's episode is Scooby-Doo, like I promised. I didn't pick them randomly. We're going to go in chronological order. Some of them don't have lyrics, though. So that's kind of something I looked out for when picking these. We were supposed to have a guest, but we don't, so deal with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, first off, we have Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?
Scooby-Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now.
Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Was produced by Hanna-Barbera, and it was released in 1969. It ran for 3 seasons. This version of Scooby-Doo stars Frank Welker as Fred, who still does the voice of Fred to this day.
That's incredible.
Yeah, he's done it the whole time.
Everybody else has been changed out?
Yeah, none of the... Yeah, Shaggy was voiced by Casey Kasem.
Jeez.
There's definitely been a Daphne for the last couple years. It's Gray Delisle, but not in this first one. Frank Welker's the only one who's made it the whole time. It's the first Scooby-Doo one. I thought only appropriate to start with the first one and then
I'd say
go
that's
from there.
fair.
The theme song was performed by Larry Marks and George A. Robertson Jr.
Question number 1, is it good?
Yes, I think it's very good. You said this, and I'm going to kind of steal what you said. I wouldn't say it's the best one on the list today, surprisingly, but I do think it's really good.
It's the most memorable.
Yeah, for sure.
But I might eat my own words, because some of these I don't remember, but I have a feeling I'm going to remember them. instantly.
Yeah. I will say, if there's anything bad to say about this one, it's that there's a lot of sound effects. We've talked before about how...
Yes. Too loud. It's just too loud.
They're too loud, and they also... I know they correlate with the visuals, but just move out of the way of your own theme song.
Question number 2, is it fun?
Yes, but it's also...
It kind of drags... And it's definitely a product of its time in that aspect, where it was just a groovy... fun little jingle, but I just wanted to change tempo or just change dynamics somewhere. It just doesn't.
Compared to Spider-Man, that came out 2 years prior, it's rather boring, Scooby-Doo,
That's
Where
what
Are
I'm
You?
saying.
Yeah.
It's
also
fun. It's fun to kind of. It's a good reminiscing song.
Yeah, it's not bad because
No.
it's not fun. I'd say it's more, and it kind of achieves this. It's kind of spooky.
Is it? Or is it the sound effects? I think
I-
it's just 60s, but I feel like we're going to get to that in a couple questions.
Yeah.
Maybe we won't delve too far into that yet.
Okay, yeah, then let's move on.
Question number 3. Does it explain the premise of the show we are about to watch?
Barely. Scooby-Doo is about teenagers who solve local mysteries, and they're almost never supernatural.
Yeah.
The twist is that it looked supernatural the whole time, but at the end it wasn't anything supernatural.
Right.
The theme
Kind of just
song,
focuses on Scoob.
Yeah, the theme song, I mean, they're all the shows are called Scooby-Doo for sure,
Mhm.
but like regardless of that,
Arguably not the main
I
character.
wouldn't describe him as the main character in most of them.
No.
It's very fun to say Scooby-Doo, where are you? Because it rhymes and it's the classic thing to say, and they say it all the time. But like, if I remember from the very few episodes of this version of Scooby-Doo that I've seen, I don't remember a common theme being Scooby-Doo gets lost occasionally.
Well, no.
and-
So I think what that describes, and it does explain a little bit of the premise of Scooby-Doo, is he gets scared and he runs off. Him and
Oh,
Shaggy
okay.
do that all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, Scooby, we got to solve
Right.
this. Don't run away. But that's one small aspect of the show that this theme song runs with.
It does also mention Scooby Snacks, which is like kind of the driving motivation
For
in
Scoob.
every episode for
It's
Scooby-Doo.
the driving motive for Scoob.
Right,
I would
it- the-
argue that there's two sets of main characters. There's Scooby and Shaggy and their storyline, and the rest.
Yeah.
You know, down the line, they have their own arc. The only like one-dimensional character is Velma by the end of it. 'Cause
Right.
she just like she's along for the ride.
Yeah, this theme song does a good job of describing Scooby-Doo and his whole attitude towards the situation, but it doesn't explain the mystery,
Yeah.
the mystery team, mystery gang, Scooby gang. What are they called?
I think you got it. The mystery gang or crew. I feel like gang's their word. I think.
It doesn't explain what they do or what they're gonna do
No.
episode to episode. Well, he does say that we got a mystery to solve.
Mystery could mean so many things. Though.
Yeah, I keep
It's
back.
it's almost always a haunting.
Yeah,
Which a haunting isn't necessarily a mystery.
yeah.
A murder is a mystery.
Right.
And they never discuss stuff like that.
I keep backpedaling and thinking about specific lyrics, but I think it stands that it doesn't do that good a job explaining the premise.
Number 4, in the new final question of season 2, is it creative?
Okay, normally with old shows, we're quick to be like, well, of course it is, because it's old and nothing really came before it. I think it is.
It sounds like a 60s pop song.
It does, and I think it's just rather boring,
Yeah.
honestly.
I think Flintstones, Spider-Man, I think
Speed Racer.
Speed Racer, I think Scooby-Doo is finally where it's not creative in the sense that it's copying what's been done before it.
No, it's derivative. I think that they...
I also don't think it's that spooky, which is a big creative aspect.
Yeah?
Nothing about the song. It's a major
You
keyed
think without-
60s pop song.
You think without... Yeah, it is on the major key. You think without sound effects and visuals, it wouldn't
It's
be
just
spooky?
a 60s groovy song. There's nothing about that that's
Okay.
going to make me think it's spooky. There's
I
not even
wonder
a
if-
theremin, which I know I mention all the time
Right,
when
yeah.
spooky stuff gets
It's
brought
just such
up.
an easy thing to be like,
If you're
spooky
going to do
theremin.
a cliche 1960s spooky thing, throw a theremin in there.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
I wonder if the fact that it's not in a minor key and it's just sort of a pop song is something we're going to see reflected in future Scooby-Doo songs as we go in this video.
Yeah, I think the reason it wasn't that scary is because it was the 60s, it was kids. I think they didn't want to get too edgy with it. Just make it a mellow, light pop song
Yeah,
over Scooby-Doo.
rather than going for like stone cold horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a bop or a flop?
I didn't expect this going into this, but I'm going to give it a blop.
A blop. Interesting.
I wouldn't say it's flop worthy.
No.
I wouldn't say it's bop worthy. I think this is a perfect blop.
Scooby-Doo, here are you. You're ready and you're willing. We can count on you, Scooby-Doo. I know you'll catch that feeling.
Next up, we have the new Scooby-Doo Mysteries.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, looking for you.
Woo! Scooby-Doo, where are you? Come on, Scooby, where you been?
The new Scooby-Doo Mysteries is actually season 2 of the new Scooby and Scrappy-Doo show. So season 1 was called that. Season 2 was called the new Scooby-Doo Mysteries. Basically, the only difference is they added Daphne. So this show doesn't have Fred or Velma in a main role. It just has Scooby, Shaggy, Scrappy, and with season 2 and this new theme song, it added Daphne. So this theme song came out in 84, even though the show began in 83. I could not find online who did this theme song. All I could find was this little bit that says the new Scooby-Doo Mysteries theme song is performed in the style of Thriller-era Michael Jackson. But I believe that's referring to the visuals, which we will get to in a moment. This was also made by Hanna-Barbera. On to the questions.
Question number 1. Is it good?
I like this one a lot.
Do you really?
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. I like it a lot. I could tell you didn't like it the whole time, and I'm curious as to why.
I didn't like the harmonies.
You didn't?
I didn't. I feel like they could have done better. It's just very poppy, spooky. It was just so like, Scooby-Doo, but it's rap. How do you like it now? And it's like, I don't remember Scooby-Doo ever dipping into the hip-hop culture of the 1980s.
Well, he has. Here it is. I've always liked this one. I specifically like the chorus, the second half of the theme song.
Scooby-Doo, looking for you. Scooby-Doo, where are you?
I cannot confirm or deny if it was actually the voice actor for Shaggy doing the lines of Shaggy in the theme song.
Oh, I know. It didn't. If that was Shaggy, he did a bad job.
Casey Kasem impression. Yeah. No, that wasn't him because they got Casey Kasem in this piece, so that was not the on-screen voice of
Good,
Shaggy
thank
doing
God.
the singing.
I don't like that either.
that they didn't get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was a busy dude back then. Interesting. I like this one a lot, but you didn't. Well,
And that's okay.
Yeah, no, totally.
Question number 2. Is it fun?
I think it's pretty fun. I think it loses some fun with the visuals.
Yeah.
Because they're, as you pointed out, they're very derivative of not only Ghostbusters, but also
A movie that has not come out yet.
Well, this one
Oh,
is the second season, so it probably had come out. It
True.
had just come out, probably. And that was the new, like, hotness in the realm of, like, ghosts and monster movies. And it was also a comedy.
Right.
And they're doing the Thriller dance in the...
Yeah, they straight up.
Like, it's not even like, oh, it's reminiscent of... No, they are doing the dance from Thriller. But if you're just listening to it, I think it's very fun.
It's very... I think this is my issue with this one. It feels very commercialized.
Okay.
It feels like they were like, what do children in the 1980s like? Do they like Ghostbusters? Yeah, does Scooby-Doo have anything? Don't worry about it. Just get it in there. Michael Jackson, throw him in there too. Why not?
And you just said it. You just said the two things that were really hot that year.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. I don't agree with it, but it makes sense.
I think that's what makes me cringe when I look. And it's mostly look, which isn't fair because this is about the song.
Yeah.
But just the two of them put together. Also, if I listened to this and I was like, is this a hot, fresh beat from the 80s about Scooby-Doo? Did somebody just make this for fun? Like, I think if I just heard this, I'd be like, this wasn't actually one of the Scooby-Doo songs.
Yeah, no, but it was.
Number 3, does it explain the premise of the show we are about to watch? Can I admit something?
Sure.
I did not pay attention to a word he said.
Yeah, I've listened.
I just realized.
I've listened to this a couple times, and I'm also struggling to remember if.
For the first time ever, do you want to listen again?
No.
No.
I feel like that breaks the integrity of the show. I feel like if we were,
I get that.
I feel like if we were so distracted by the song that even me, a fan of this song, can't remember what it was about, then that says something.
It was just so flashy and in your face and not what I was expecting out of Scooby-Doo. I was not paying attention.
Chris, I'm trying to remember it. All I'm thinking of is what we're going to listen to next. I can't remember what it sounds like. I'm losing my mind. I can't remember what the theme song we just listened to sounds like.
Then I'm going to say no. I mean, it's not fair because maybe the lyrics in detail explain what the premise of this show is about, but if we can't remember them, does it actually? It's like if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's there to pay attention to the new Scooby-Doo lyrics.
Yeah.
Did the tree even do the Thriller dance?
I'm sorry. I know what I said. I got to listen to it again. No, it doesn't. I listened to the first 2 seconds. I remembered it, and it doesn't. No. It does what the last one does. It talks in, like, here's what Scooby-Doo is all about.
Even if you felt like it did, I still think we got to dock it points because you had to give it a second listen. And keep the integrity of our show alive, and we won't do the Thriller dance.
Hey guys, Thunder here after the fact during editing, and I looked up a few things, and I have a couple things to explain. So earlier I mentioned that the second half of the song is the chorus, and it's the part that I really liked. This is actually the music that they used for season 1 of this show, the new Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo show. but it's originally the theme song that they used for the new Scooby-Doo movies. So it's not even just derivative, it's literally just the tune from those two things. Also, Daphne was also in the new Scooby and Scrappy-Doo show, so I don't know why I thought she was a new addition, or the theme song decided to frame it that way, but she is not. Anyways, back to them.
Number 4, is it creative?
Well,
I'm torn on this one.
yeah, because comparing it to its predecessor, it is, because it's a new genre of music.
Well, it's a new genre of music, and also, well, it's not creative in the sense that they just did it's not
That's a
creative
good-
to the show.
That's a good point. Oh, I thought you were going to say something different. I was going to bring up that you were talking about how with Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? It was just like a 60s pop song. This is basically just an 80s pop song.
Right.
So
That's what I was getting at. It still hasn't done anything creative for the show. The show hasn't found its identity of a theme song in this one because it's still
Right.
just what was popular.
here's
You know what? Actually, the more I think about Scooby-Doo intros, that's just kind of what they do, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's the thing that I'm trying to that I'm trying to conceptualize right now. Like, if I was a kid and I heard that, I would assume that this show is not spooky. And when I watch it, if it is spooky, I'm gonna feel lied to, which does not, as good as your theme song is, reflect well.
I will say they did add some spooky elements. They did a few oohs
Yeah.
in there, and the visuals, the music being reminiscent of Ghostbusters. They did do a better job of trying to throw some spooky elements in there. I wouldn't call it creative. All right, the big question: is it a bop or flop?
Going into this, I was ready to just give it the bop because I really like this song. But I think you and I have talked me down to a blop.
Yet another blop.
Yeah,
That's unheard of.
because that's the thing. It's not a flop. I wouldn't call it a flop. I liked it.
Okay.
I enjoyed listening to it, but it doesn't do the things that theme songs need to do.
Interesting. I wonder if this new set of questions is making it a little more difficult for a bop. Not a bad thing.
No, not a bad thing at all.
It's keeping everything true.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Mm.
We've never had a back-to-back blop. We've never had two blops in an episode.
I don't think so. We have no.
Next, we have a pup named Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, 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 Scooby-Doo.
There's a mystery in town, so call the coolest pup around. Oh, Scooby, Scooby-Doo.
All right, so this one came out in 88, lasted until 91. It was also 4 seasons, but only 27 episodes. The theme song, titled A Pup Named Scooby-Doo, was composed by John Debney. Not quite sure who's singing. I assume him, because that's the only name I see. This one was also produced by Hanna-Barbera. I don't think they ever lost the stuff for that. Interestingly enough, it still starred Casey Kasem, even though everyone else was different because they're children. Oh, that's the other thing. This is a prequel. This is when they're children.
Yeah.
Which is an important thing to note. That's why it's called A Pup Named Scooby-Doo. Something interesting, once again, they have gone out of their way to say, this is what we base the theme song on, because there's multiple accounts that I just found online of people saying that they intentionally made this, based the direction of this song off Little Shop of Horrors.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I had my own theory,
Yeah.
and I kind of want to share it. That makes a lot of sense. The Little Shop of Horrors is very much 60s doo-woppy kind of music, which this is also. I assumed it was very 60s sounding because it's supposed to be when Scooby-Doo started, which was 20 years ago, which was the 60s.
Right, because they're kids and it
Right.
technically takes place. That would be cool, but
Just not the case.
no, it's a more roundabout way of doing things.
Also, just the next popular thing in spooky,
Yeah.
off-brand spooky
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. Nothing they're deriving from is like super scary.
It's not
like I don't,
Friday the
I don't,
13th.
I don't watch the Thriller music video and then have nightmares for a week.
Right. Question number 1: is it good?
Yes, this is the best one yet, I think.
Yeah, I agree. This
This
is
one-
a very well put together song.
Even though it is intentionally derivative
Yeah.
of Little Shop of Horrors, I feel like this one knew what it was going to do and did it.
It knew what it was, for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Yeah, this is the best one so far on
It's
this
almost
episode.
like they went pop song but throw some elements of some spooky stuff in it. Then they were like, what came out this year? Little Shop of Horror. Do your
Just
version
to-
of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Number 2: is it fun?
Yeah, oh yes. Yeah, I think it's loads of
Oh
fun.
yeah, that gets me excited to watch a pup named Scooby-Doo.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. Oh yeah. This show is great, by the way. I know we don't usually talk about the show, but like this one was really good.
I vaguely remember it, but I remember it being good.
Also, I don't know. I never know what section to put this in, but I can't not talk about the super loud sound effects. This one had it too. So far, we're 3 for 3 with the visuals matching up with super loud, distracting sound effects.
Does it explain the premise of the show that we are about to watch?
It honestly, like, pretty much does, because it's like, what do you need to know about this show? It's a prequel, and all the characters you know and love are going to be there. That's basically all the theme song says.
And they, unlike previous shows where they have a car and they can go anywhere, they made a point to say, I don't remember if this is true to the show, but it makes me feel like they're just doing stuff in their neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah. The whole point of the show is, like, they don't really solve, like, mysteries, quote-unquote, or hauntings, as you put it. They're just solving, like, everyday things, because they're kids.
Right.
They want to be the mystery gang one day, and you, watching the show, have seen them be the mystery gang. Now you're seeing them aspire to that, but they're children. So
Right.
it sort of gives off that Rugrats feel. Rugrats went for a whole, like, what they see is not what you see type thing.
Right.
But barring that, it kind of does the whole thing of, like, these are pretty adventurous babies.
Yeah. Number 4, is it creative? I feel like
No.
I feel like I feel like they kind of put a
No, it's not
chink in
creative.
the armor
They just-
in
they
the
just-
wiki page.
They just sent me a text message. They were like, "Don't worry, it is in fact based off Little Shop of Horrors. Don't get it twisted." No, it's not creative. It's if I didn't know that, I'd say it's the most creative one
I
yet.
know. I was so like they're going back to the roots in such an odd way.
Yeah.
I loved my
It's such an-
backstory
it's
I
a-
made up for this
Yeah,
theme song
yeah.
that is not canonical.
Does
Does not actually mean anything.
Non-canonical. Non-canonical.
Bop or flop, go right now.
Bop.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, this one's good. I like this one a lot.
Scooby, a puppy named Scooby, a puppy named Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo, where are you?
Next up, we have What's New, Scooby-Doo.
What's the Scooby-Doo? We're coming after you. You're gonna solve that mystery. I see you, Scooby-Doo. We're traveling after you. What's new, Scooby-Doo?
All right, what's new, Scooby-Doo? First aired in 2002. It ran for 3 seasons until 2006. It was the first Scooby-Doo TV show to come out with Warner Brothers and not Hanna-Barbera, because the only living member of Hanna-Barbera died in 2001, so Warner Brothers picked up the rights. The theme song, I haven't got to look that up. The theme song's written and performed by Simple Plan, and they love it so much that they frequently perform it
I
live.
would too.
Wow, they still got Casey Kasem. I know I keep bringing that up, but I thought
Maybe
he was
Fred
just-
isn't the only member who's made it all the way through.
No, he did. Casey Kasem is dead. Is he not? Yeah, Casey Kasem died in 2014.
Jeez.
Frank Welker, Gray Delisle. Yeah, this is the Scooby crew, the voice actors.
Question number 1, is it good?
Yes.
Yeah, it is good.
I know I just said it about the last one, but this one is the best one so far.
I think I agree. I think this might be my favorite, and I'm definitely being biased because
Yeah,
it's
because this came out in 2002, and we definitely grew up on this one.
Also-
and
yeah.
no sound effects
no sound effects.
for the
you're
first time this whole Bop or Flop episode. No sound effects.
right. 2 things about this that make it good for different reasons. This one is kind of questionable whether it makes it good or not, but it's another 2002 rock is what you're listening to for the most part. or
Right,
Pop
yeah.
punk, and they did it again. They
They
picked
did
a
it again. They were
popular
like,
song.
yeah, they were
so
like,
I guess
what are
that makes it good in the anthology of Scooby-Doo. They did it again. It puts a fresh face on Scooby-Doo. It freshens Scooby-Doo for you.
yeah.
Because it's like 60 song, 80 song,
80
60 song
song.
again, 80, 60 song, clean slate pop punk
Yeah,
Scooby-Doo.
this was it's funny you mentioned Clean Slate because this is the first one that
Warner
with
Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
So I think that was their intention.
Yeah.
I think that they with What's New Scooby-Doo, the theme song and the actual show, and they achieved this. I think they were like, no, we're starting fresh.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo's cool now, and
And deal with
to deal with it.
mic drop.
Also, I forgot to mention this in every other one, but this is the first one that didn't do what you call the Ninja Turtles thing of saying the
know.
words Scooby-Doo, where are you?
Did I actually? I don't even think I mentioned that in the last ones.
No, we didn't.
Um,
Everyone so far has said the word Scooby-Doo, where are you?
Yeah.
Just like Pokemon and TMNT.
And kind of in the same melody or same rhythmic.
Right. This
and
one didn't do that.
It's the, I want to call it the TMNT syndrome,
Yeah.
where they just cannot get rid of the actually. Oh no, this says what's new, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
It does not say Scooby-Doo, where are you?
No, it says the title of the show, but it doesn't say Scooby-Doo, where are you, which is
Which
commendable.
actually, I wouldn't even be upset with Scooby-Doo, where are you? I would be upset with Scooby-a-Dooby-Doo, where are you? Because those are, in fact, the words they use.
Right.
Yeah, this one definitely broke a lot of chains.
Conventions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that Scooby was attached to.
Tied down by, yeah.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
It is fun.
It is, yeah.
Maybe the
it's
funnest.
definitely the funnest so far. It's so fun that do you know a theme song is fun when the people who performed it like it, and they
Yeah.
like it so much that they'll
They're
play
a real
it.
band, and they play it out.
They play it like frequently. It's
Yeah.
like not a rare thing to see Simple Plan play this at one of their shows, because Simple Plan, I don't know if you've noticed, it's not making any real new music. So if they are going to tour, they're going to play their old music.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, no, I mean, if I made a Scooby-Doo or any famous cartoon that's survived the ages, and I made one of the better theme songs for it with my band, and that's one of our
Yeah.
songs, hell yeah, I'm going to play it.
And also, like,
Even if it's like 20 years later, who cares? It was an awesome theme.
and the other thing is, like, let's say there's people in the crowd who don't like Scooby-Doo. It's only a minute long.
That was a good one. I was just going to end the question, so that was just going to be it. Does it explain the premise of the show we are about to watch?
Okay, so it doesn't have to, right? Because it's Scooby-Doo. We all know at this point
Yeah.
that it's Scooby-Doo. But, and this, this is the title and not really the song, but this is going to sound silly when I just say it like this, but this is what's new. This is the new Scooby-Doo. Forget old Scooby-Doo. Because they ask the question in the song, what's new, Scooby-Doo? Everything is new. This is the brand new Scooby-Doo. And
they still bring up mysteries.
no, they do. They still attempt to clue the viewers in on what's going to happen in the show, but they almost don't need to. If it was Scooby-Doo, where are you? Nothing, and then 2002, it's what's new, Scooby-Doo. Sure, explain a bunch. But this is like, we skipped a bunch. There's like 3 or 4 other Scooby-Doo shows in between Where Are You and What's New. You don't have to. People know who Scooby-Doo is. So they did just as good a job as the other ones on this list explaining the premise, but that's because they didn't have to.
Yeah. Is it creative?
Okay. So
Here, it's creative in the sense that for the first time ever, Warner Brothers went to a real band.
yeah, because that's the thing. You either go to a band or you go to a theme song composer, and for the first time they went to a band.
And they made their own Scooby-Doo theme song, whether or not you want to call pop punk creative in its own right. They took Scooby-Doo, still made it feel like a Scooby-Doo intro, and did it themselves. And I think that's creative. All the way through, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Scooby-Doo. It's not creative as a 2000s pop punk song. It's just like every other one ever. But it's creative for a Scooby-Doo intro.
When compared to its predecessors, even specifically on this list, it took bold steps towards creativity that the other ones did not.
Is it a bop or a flop?
It's a bop.
For our 5th and final intro, we have Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue.
Okay, Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue is, believe it or not, the 10th incarnation of Scooby-Doo. It's the direct follow-up to What's New, Scooby-Doo.
Oh, wow.
This aired from 2006 to 2008. It lasted 2 seasons, only 26 episodes. The theme song is composed. It doesn't say who sang it. I can only assume this person also. But much to my surprise, the theme song is composed by Mark Mothersbaugh. He's done some of my favorite films and TV shows. I'm talking about Rocket Power. I'm talking about Thor Ragnarok.
What did he do in them, though? Just the music director?
Yeah, he did the soundtrack, basically. What I'm trying to get at is that the Thor Ragnarok soundtrack is killer.
Yeah.
And all the music in the Rugrats and Pee-wee's Playhouse and Rocket Power and Clifford the Big Red Dog and Rugrats All Grown Up and regular show are great. This one is not so great,
No,
is what I'm getting at. Did I forget anything?
I don't think so.
Casey Kasem's still around.
That's good. Keeping us updated on that, I appreciate it. Number 1, is it good? No.
No, it's
No.
terrible. It sounds like it's being sung by Beavis and Butthead.
No. It just wasn't a singer. I was listening to this like they just got a guy off the street, some drunk guy stumbling out of the bar. And they were like, want to sing the next Scooby-Doo intro? He was like, yeah!
It's baffling to me how little is known about these theme songs, because I know who wrote it. Mark Mothersbaugh wrote it, one of the greatest composers of our generation, except for this song. But who sang it is a mystery. I didn't watch this one. I've never heard of this
Me
show
either.
before.
Me either.
Was it even on Cartoon Network? It doesn't seem like it aired on Cartoon Network. It aired on the CW. I've never heard of this one. It's followed up by Mysteries Incorporated, so it's literally the one in between What's New and Mystery Incorporated. Mystery Inc. That's what they're called.
Oh, yeah.
No, I just found this one, and I was like, what is this? We need to do it.
Oh, that was so awful.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Is it fun?
What I'm learning with this show is that fun is relative. If someone came to me and was like, I think this one's super fun, I'd be like, I respect your opinion, but I very much disagree.
I disagree. It was annoying.
It was annoying.
If nothing else, it was annoying. And if you think that's fun, maybe I don't think you're fun.
No, it wasn't a joke. It sounds like the voice actors for Beavis and Butthead are singing this
But
theme
the
song.
song itself, forget the singer, the song is annoying.
Song is also
I
annoying.
wish repetitive was still a question just for this, because, oh my God,
Yeah.
that got annoying.
No, it's incredibly repetitive. And it also, like, what genre would you describe this song as? Grunge pop? Trash?
Noise punk.
Garbage metal?
No, it's like noise punk. It's not good
No,
in
it's
a
not good.
traditional sense.
No.
It also wasn't good for what it was meant to be.
No, it honestly, and I'm putting the cart before the horse a little bit. This might be the worst theme song we've ever reviewed.
It's pretty close. It's
between
It's
this and
up there.
Fish Hooks, I think.
Yes, I was also gonna say that. My God, this one though. Does it explain the premise of the show we are about to watch?
Assuming that the premise of this show is it's just the new Scooby-Doo Mysteries again, except with no Daphne and no Shaggy, I don't think it probably doesn't do a good job of explaining the show.
No, I mean it said the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And it
Here's the thing.
did a bad
'cause-
job at that too.
See, here's the thing, because we just spoke about this with What's New Scooby-Doo. If the title of the show is all you need to know for the premise, and you say the title a bunch of times, you get a big old check mark. But if your title is Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue, which is already a mouthful, and I'm assuming it's a double entendre because they're dumb, but also they get a clue as in like they're solving mysteries and they need clues to solve mysteries. I'm assuming, I've never seen it, you need a little more than that. And they did say more, but it was so shrieky that I was just like, I can't listen to these words. I just need this to be over.
Yeah.
What's the line from Cabin in the Woods? More than anything, I just want this moment to end.
More than anything, I just want this moment to end.
It's not creative.
No, it's no. I think the fact that we can't even distinguish what genre it's supposed to be rings true to the non-creativeness of it.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like they got Simple Plan to do the last one. Then they didn't want to pay a band like Simple Plan to do the next one.
Yeah.
And they were like, we can do that.
But they paid like TV's most prolific theme song person to write it.
How much effort did he put into it? Do you
It
think
looks
they
like
were
none.
like? Do you think they were like, we'll pay you $5,000, and he was like, all right, I'm gonna take a half a day to put this together for you. Then that could have been the case.
That honestly, with such a repertoire that Mark Mothersbaugh has, the guy did Rugrats and Rocket Power and Thor Ragnarok and Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3. Like in terms of the soundtrack, the best Crash Bandicoot games.
I'm putting pieces together. I think they
think
hired
they didn't
Simple Plan,
pay-
huge money, said we're not doing that again. Just get somebody nobody quote unquote knows, not Simple Plan, not a rock band. Get a decent theme song composer to do this for us. They got a really good one. I think they paid him nothing, and he threw together whatever he wanted
Here's
for
the
them.
difference. Here's the ethical difference between What's New Scooby-Doo and Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue. Simple Plan came in. They were like, boom, theme song on the table. Here's what we got. It's so good that The internet knows that Simple Plan did it. They play it out live. Simple Plan is in an episode of What's New Scooby-Doo, so they clearly respect the show and really love that they did the theme song. Cut to Shaggy and Scooby-Doo get a clue, can't find who sang it online.
Yeah.
And it's not that old of a show. If it's Flintstones and it's like, we don't know who the hell sang it, I'm like, yeah, it's from like the 1940s. But this show is from 2008.
Yeah.
I should be able to pinpoint.
That guy might have taken it like, please don't credit me for this. I don't want to be credited because he knows it sucks.
I wouldn't have either. I don't know. For the first time ever, I am, not literally, but I am speechless. I don't know what we listened to. I forget what segment we're on, but like I'm not in the mood to watch Scooby-Doo.
No.
If I listen to that, I'm going to change the channel to something else.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't make it past that theme song.
I'd honestly like that's what I'm saying. Like I hear the Shaggy and Scooby-Doo get a theme song, and I change the channel to Fish Hooks, and I'm like, much better comparatively.
We were on Is It Creative, but I think it's an astounding no.
No, it's just transcendently bad. It's so bad. I dislike it immensely. Yes.
Is it a bop or a flop? Just swing that axe down.
So here's the thing. I did something last time. I'm going to do it again. There's bop, there's blop, there's flop. Danny Phantom got the new title of Perfect. This theme song is going to get the brand new title that I just came up with of Failure. Below flop.
Awesome.
I dislike it immensely, and my day is ruined because of it.
Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, get a clue. Shaggy, Scooby-Doo, get a clue.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us for another riveting episode of Bop or Flop.
Yeah.
A quick moment of silence in memory of our host, who's no longer with us.
Oh, yes. In the arms of an angel. Carry on, my good friend, into that good night. That wasn't silence, but, you know.
No, not. You didn't give it a moment of silence. But that'll do us here on Bop or Flop.
Yes.
Tune in next time. Do we know what we're going to be doing next time?
Yeah, I mean, next month is going to be, we're going to stick with the tradition of themed episode, not themed episode. So next time is going to be just your normal average episode. I picked 5 random ones. I think next time is going to be pretty fun. The time after that, I don't know what we're going to do. We'll talk about it next time, but it'll be a themed episode.
Sounds good to me.
But yeah, thank you for watching.
That's interesting.
Mm.
We've never had a back-to-back blop. We've never had 2 blops in an episode, I
don't think so. We have no.
Interesting.
That was not words.
Fascinating.
Excellent. Amazing. Fantastic.
Next up, a pup named Scooby-Doo.
No, absolutely not.
Next, we have a pup named Scooby-Doo.